My name is Rebecca Richardson, and I'm humbled and honored to be your student speaker today. I started ICC a little over 2 years ago in pursuit of my degree in social work. This has been a dream 20 years in the making, and thanks to this scholarship, one that will soon become a reality. In 1992, I was 16 years old and a junior in high school. I discovered I was pregnant with my first child. She's now 22. I had always been an excellent student, and becoming a teen mom was not in the plans. However, the best things in life are sometimes the ones least expected, and being a mom has been one of my life's greatest achievements. I'm also a mom to a 16-year-old boy, a stepmother to a 22-year-old girl, and a stepmom to a 20-year-old boy. I've been happily married for the past 12 years, and almost 2 years ago, my husband and I became first-time grandparents. While I was fortunate enough to graduate high school with my peers, I knew that college wasn't in the cards. I threw myself into the workforce head-on and did my best to be a good mom while growing up alongside her. The life I live now is a world away from the one I lived before. There's something about going through trials that show you what you have deep down. I've been homeless, and at one point dealt with an addiction to a prescription drug. I've been on welfare and worked 3 jobs to get off of it. My life hasn't always been easy, but the key has been for every step back to take another step forward. Winston Churchill said, "Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference." The attitude I've kept my entire life is of hope. Hope that tomorrow could be better than today. Hope that so long as I never gave up on the world wouldn't give up on me. In the last 2 decades since I started my journey into adulthood, I've evolved and grown in ways I didn't know possible. Starting college, pursuing my degree, standing here today before each of you. It's a realization of dreams, ones that I thought were only for when my eyes were closed. And today, in this moment, they're fully open. Last November, as you all know, the town I lived in was decimated by an E4 tornado. While my home was spared, the homes of many of my friends were not. I found myself leaping into advocacy and social work full steam ahead. Through the chaos, I developed a sense of purpose. A few months after the storm, I embarked on a project called Operation Teddy Bear. I believed, if we were lucky, we'd receive a handful of stuffed animals and we would make a few children smile. To date, we've given out over 300 storm buddies, and the donations continue to stream in. This experience has inspired me to work on developing a foundation called the Be a Rainbow Foundation, using the wise words of the late and great Maya Angelou. I hope that in the coming years to develop a 501c3 that will be that rainbow in someone else's cloud. On my forearm, there's a tattoo that reads, "Cracked, not broken." I'd like to take a moment to share with you an old Chinese parable that was shared with me. I believe it is why I've chosen this as a symbol of my life's meaning. There once was a man named Han. His job was to fetch water for his village from the river. Each morning he awoke, placing a bamboo pole across his shoulders with a stone jug on either side. Each time he returned to his village, it was always with a full jug and one that was only half full. One of his jugs had a tiny crack, and as he made his trek, the water seeped out. The perfect jug was mighty proud. It always carried a full load of water and never spilled a drop. The imperfect jug was embarrassed and ashamed, knowing it had done only half the work. One day the cracked jug cried, "Why am I cracked?" "I'm a failure," it sobbed. Ignoring the jug's cry, Han once again carried both to the river and came home with the broken jug half full. "Why don't you throw me away?" asked the broken jug. "I don't understand." Han smiled and said, "For months now I've heard you complain. I've heard you speak of your brokenness." "I am ashamed," said the jug. "I am broken." "Today," said Han, as we returned to the village, "look at the path as we walk." As they walked, the jug for the first time noticed the most beautiful flowers he'd ever seen. These flowers made the jug happy, but then he remembered his crack, and his sadness returned once more. "What did you think of the flowers?" asked Han. "They're so pretty," replied the jug, "but they only grow on my side of the path." "That's right," said Han. "All this time as we walked back, the crack in your stone watered the wild seeds that had fallen onto the ground. What you saw as a failure has changed our village and brought it beauty and light." "Then all the time I felt useless," said the jug. "My flaw was really my most valuable part." I firmly believe that we go through things in life that can leave us in pieces, filled with cracks. It's up to us, however, how we choose to see the experience and how we choose to handle it. We can be cracked, but it doesn't mean we're broken. As I finish my time here at ICC and move on to pursuing my bachelor's, I know that my education will play a huge role in the difference and giving me the knowledge I need to leave the greatest impact and make a difference in the life of others. Facing mental illness, a traumatic brain injury like my mom, or PTSD from a natural disaster, there are small things we can do that make a huge impact. As someone who has both PTSD and an anxiety disorder, I can tell you that when we choose transparency over secrecy and reach out for help, we become survivors instead of victims, and that changes our reality forever. I'd like to thank my donors for this opportunity. Your generosity warms my heart, and I won't let you down. It's humbling to know there are total strangers who will take a chance on me, and I am determined to pay it forward through my work. If my life has taught me anything, it is this. Life is not always what you plan, but it will always be what you make of it. When we believe in ourselves and each other, we can make it into something truly beautiful. Thank you.